This is a Divorce Curious podcast. I'm your host, Lisa Mitchell. If you're here, your life and marriage might kind of suck right now, and I've been exactly where you are. At Divorce Curious, we're going to say the quiet parts out loud. We're going to sit in the anger, confusion, and disappointment that you're feeling and talk about what it looks like to go through the before, during, and after of being divorce curious. I'm glad you're here. Hey, okay, guys, it has been a minute since we have done an episode of the Divorce Curious podcast. So thanks so much for chilling with me during my hiatus. There's been a lot going on. You know, we did some new job stuff. We did some new project stuff. We took on some new life stuff. But lo and behold, I have returned. We're just going to call this season 2 of Divorce Curious. I had planned on it just being one long pile of episodes, but I think when you throw a big hiatus in the middle after dumping a bunch of episodes out, that you just call it a different season. And you know, it's my show, so I'm going to do what I want to do here, but super happy to have you all back with me. Yeah, so there's a lot going on as of the time that this is coming back around. And I'll tell you, I have so much new, fresh energy. I have so many more new stories. I've met some awesome new people. We're going to queue up this season with so many awesome interviews. I have Rachel Randolph, who is an amazing communications expert. She and I fell down the rabbit hole every single time we talk, whether we're recording or whether we're sitting across the room from each other or whether we are thousands of miles away on our phone. It just doesn't matter. We are going to yap. I mean, even in Instagram DMs and on LinkedIn, like there is always a conversation going somewhere. And, you know, we're going to put you in on it. So she's the host of the Spec Method podcast. If you're not following it right now, please do it. She's brilliant. And from one communications nerd to another, like I always learn a ton from her. So check that out. Get excited for her episode. I'm guessing it's probably going to be a 2-parter because I think we talked for an hour and a half or something. Now, a large portion of that was us just gushing about how much we loved each other. But, you know, I think that's like positive female relationship energy and juju. So we're just going to let you hear that too, because who doesn't like to hear one girl fangirling over their bestie, right? So look for that episode. We are going to have a special series that I am so excited about. So I have been introduced to an amazing new crew of women and experts, thanks to fellow divorce maven. I don't know. That's a weird word. But anyways, she's a divorce coach, Leah Giaquinta. She was on season 1 of the Divorce Curious podcast. She is brilliant and amazing and connected to like the best people. So we have fired up our baddie chat, and you will be getting the opportunity to meet Alex and Melissa and Sarah coming up in episodes this season as well. And really the crux of our little worlds colliding is the phenomenon that is happening at the intersection of perimenopause and menopause and divorce. Oprah just did an episode where they referred to it as like gray divorce. And there's all this new invigorated talk around this shocking phenomenon that people are finally connecting the dots that, you know, women who are in the age frame of perimenopause or in full-blown menopause, they just don't put up with the same amount of shit that they used to. The tolerance for bad behavior, the tolerance for being exploited, the tolerance for carrying every single thing in their household and with their kids and in their lives, we're just done. Like, we're done with it. And as a result of that phase of life and the lowered tolerance for bullshit and just general, there's got to be something better than what I'm currently living. A lot of those women are finding themselves in a very divorce curious state of mind. So some of them are thinking about it. Some of them are planning it. Some of them are in the middle of it. Some of them are on the other side of it. And for better or worse, they're learning to adapt to life that looks a little bit different than it did in previous phases, both of their physical journey and also then of their relational journey. So you're going to get to meet Alex and Melissa and Sarah. Each one of these women are playing a different role and leading different parts of the process and the communication around the perimenopause and divorce intersection there. So that'll be a series. I don't know how many episodes or what exactly that'll look like, but That's going to be coming up here in season 2. Would love to hear from you in the comments or in Instagram DMs or wherever you're finding me or following me. What else do you want to hear on season 2 of the Divorce Curious podcast? Because I am just starting to work up the game plan and schedule my guest. And I have a little bit of time right now to jump in and try to get season 2, recorded and scheduled and planned and hopefully out into the world with some sort of regular cadence. But that's my goal. We'll see how we do when it comes to actually getting it done. But that's my intention. And I want to make sure that I'm bringing on the guests you want to hear from and tackling the topics that you think are most relevant or important to you right now based on where you are in your divorce curious journey. So one of the topics I have found so fascinating, as of the time I'm recording this is a fairly new topic in the collective consciousness, or I guess not a new topic, but more like a reinvigorated conversation. And it really came from an article that was published in Vogue at the end of October of 2025 by Shantae Joseph. And it is having a boyfriend embarrassing now. And this article has brought everybody out of the woodwork. Like, there's been so many incredible comments and so much conversation and discourse around the idea of basically, is it cringy or is there like a hit to your social equity if you are a woman who is going public with your boyfriend? Now, there's always been a little bit of backlash around like girls who get a boyfriend and then all of a sudden that's like their only topic. That's all they post about. It's only pictures of them as couples. It's all, my boyfriend this, my boyfriend that, like ad nauseum. And that there's always been some sensitivity or some backlash around women who go from like having their own independent point of view to all of a sudden not ever being able to post anything that does not start with we or us or my boyfriend and I. And that's not new. But what is new is there is actually an intentional act of either very subtly launching your boyfriend or including your boyfriend in your social media presence and in your conversations, or just straight up like cropping his ass out of everything that you ever post, editing videos so there's no physical proof of your boyfriend, never mentioning the we or the us or my boyfriend in your point of views or in your post. And really, it's such an interesting thing. I think that we've gone from, I guess, having a boyfriend at some point being like like a crowning moment or an achievement or a flex, right? Like you have the flex or the street cred of being partnered, right? Which at one point it was, well, if you were partnered, you were almost superior in the heterosexual hierarchy, at least. You should have a boyfriend. That's what all high quality women, we should be desired. We should be, what an honor to have the validation of being partnered or being chosen or having a boyfriend. And it didn't really even matter so much if that person was high quality or a compliment to us or supportive of us. It was more like, is a position filled? Implying then that if you didn't have a boyfriend or you weren't partnered or the position was vacant, that somehow you were less than or not as worthy or not as highly valued as a woman that had a partner or had a boyfriend. Well, now it's almost kind of a backlash. And don't get me wrong, I'm the first one to love to see women who are independent, that are peaceful in their singlehood and proud of what they're able to do independently, whether that's women coming out of a divorce and finding their footing financially and as a single parent and a provider for themselves and their kids, or, even just reestablishing their own household and routine and identity outside of a marriage. I love that. Or if you've chosen to never be married and you just enjoy being a long-term single independent person. Like, I love that as well. It is like the pendulum has kind of swung from we revere or applaud women who have a boyfriend or are chosen or are partnered as like that was what really brought you praise or peace or admiration, to really almost swinging all the way to the other side of like women that are independent and women that stand on their own, women that kind of reject the traditional kind of patriarchal value system and, really are content and happy and fulfilled in their independent lives. Like now those are the women who are aspirational. Those are the women kind of at the top of the social food chain, if you will, as far as who do we revere the most, or who do we perceive as having the most social capital, or the highest degree of satisfaction, or I don't know, I can't find the right words for it, but you know what I'm saying, right? So it's such an interesting time, I think, culturally, to see the shift from people who like could not hard launch a boyfriend fast enough. Like one day straight to Instagram, Facebook official, putting it on Snapchat, putting it on TikTok, right? Like this woohoo, I'm partnered, right? Like celebration, I got a boyfriend. And again, regardless of quality or emotional support or benefit of that person, it was like, check the box, I got a boyfriend, my social capital moved up, to now being like women that have guys and they might have really, really great partners are almost ashamed of them, or almost ashamed of themselves for having like fallen into the trap of getting a boyfriend or being partnered. And I'm not one to say which is better or which is preferred, because honestly, I don't think that there is a universal best. I don't think that there's a universal right. I think it is so individual and so based on your situation and so based on your history and your value system and your personal definition of what fulfillment and happiness looks like, that you should be able to proudly declare and highlight your independent single life, and just as easily should be able to share and highlight and be happy with your happily coupled life. So the fact that there's like social detriment now to having a boyfriend or to being partnered, to the point that women are hiding it because they don't want the criticism or the scrutiny or the judgment of their friends or coworkers or whatever. It's like, man, it's like almost seen as a weakness or moral failure now to have a partner. And it used to be like, oh, you're going to die alone, go get a cat, right? Like the ultimate burn for single women is like, oh, you're going to die alone with your cat. Now it's like, ooh, you have a boyfriend. That's embarrassing. Anyways, there's lots of, if you run across any of those posts, by the time that this is out and live and on the feed, it's really easy to find. It's like, just search, is having a boyfriend embarrassing now? And lots of articles, lots of commentary. Everybody's got a hot take on this. So of course, I'm going to jump in with my big mouth. But to me, I think the answer is, do you, boo? If you are happy with your partner, be happy with your partner. Say it with your whole chest. Put it out there, right? Like, you don't need to apologize for being happily partnered any more than somebody needs to apologize for being happily single. Like, there is no universal right. There is no reason to yuck someone else's yum. Being partnered doesn't make you any less of a strong woman or a smart woman. I mean, sometimes it does, I guess, let's be for real. But just like being single doesn't make you some superior form of woman or a more, happier, more successful woman. Like, there's so many complex factors that go into what is happiness and what is success. And it's so individualized that to be, to say boyfriends are bad or single is bad, like, what are we doing, right? We are all on the same team. We should be cheering for every woman, regardless of relationship status, partnered or single, to be happy and to be healthy and to be proud of the life that they're living every day. Like, that's it. If you can stand beside your sister friend and acknowledge them and their choices and celebrate their happiness, like, that's it, man. That's all we have to do. Your commentary, your judgment, it's not helpful. It's not necessary, and it's not needed. If we are busy judging and fighting within ourselves, we don't have the energy to work on the shit that's really important or that really matters. So I don't know. I just think, to me, it's such an interesting swing or dichotomy between before and after of what's considered embarrassing for a woman. Oh my God, it's exhausting. Anyways, be single, be partnered. I don't care. Nobody else really should care either. Whatever you choose it with your whole chest. Say it loud. Be proud of the decision that you've made. Don't defend it to stupid people. That's not your job. Your job is not to make stupid people understand your choices, especially, if they're not the one living in it. So ignore or thank politely and then ignore. It's up to you. Many different ways you can approach this, but I don't know. I'd love to hear your thoughts. What do you think? Is having a boyfriend now embarrassing? Have we finally, passed the stigma of being independent? Is like single the flex now? Is it situational? Does it matter based on career? Does it matter based on culture or where you live or socioeconomics? What are the variables where it's good or bad? I don't know. Anyways, that's what's on my mind today. And since I had some time and I have a microphone, I decided I was going to share it with y'all. So, all right, until next time, friends, buckle up. Season 2 is on its way. I'm going to just try to do more of these little short solo episode, hot takes, topical type things, because people have a lot of big opinions around here, including me. And again, I have a microphone and a podcast, so you're going to get them too. All right, let me know what you think. What's the flex? Single? Should you be embarrassed to have a partner, to have a boyfriend? Should we just shut up and leave each other alone? I don't know. Put it in the comments. Hit me up on Instagram at Divorce Curious Help. Leave it here on the podcast, wherever you're listening to it. If you think there is somebody in your life that either A, needs to catch up on season 1, or B, get ready for season 2, share it with them. Like, comment, stick around. That's what you do for people you love. Anyways, until next time, friends, stay curious.